Well, a happy Saturday morning, afternoon to you all, CSS Nation, sterile processing professionals across the world. Well, it is that time of year again. In 10 days, we have the opportunity to select the officers that are going to represent us and our issues in the association, HSPA. My intent today is to go over each candidate and to read their bios and just give you a little bit of insight if I happen to know them. If I don't happen to know them, then probably I won't be given too much there. But as it is, we're just going to go ahead and supply and let you know what it is that, the information about them. So let's first go ahead and go over the individuals of who's running. We have president elect again this year, and then we have our board of directors, our directors that are going to be coming up for um, office. So here we go. So the list of candidates that we have for president elect, we have Anthony Bondon and we have Miss Arlene Bush. All right. Two very qualified candidates indeed. Now, for the directors, it's a 2 year term. We have Kenneth Campbell, we have Denard Esnard, Damon Miles, Jessica Train, Sarah Vinson, and Sean Weir. And hopefully, I got everybody's name right. If I got it wrong, I do apologize. So let's go ahead and go into the actual candidates and what it is that they represent, their backgrounds and such. And let's see here. You'll excuse me because I'm doing this live and it is taking me just a little bit to get everything coordinated here. So, bam, getting there. Just a moment. All righty. So, the first one that we have up and going is going to be, and of course, I could be wrong. I think it goes. Yep, here we go. All right, let me go ahead and share this. All right, so this is the full list of candidates and their bios. It says here it's listed alphabetically. So I'll be going through each one, and here we go. So when it comes to Anthony Bondon, all right, he is currently serves as the Central Sterile Manager at HSHS St. John's Hospital in Springfield, I think Illinois. Springfield, huh? Say hello to Bart and Homer for me. All right. His past experience, he has been on the board of directors since 2008 to 2020. He is a on the foundation board of directors, the vice president, certification council, certificate representative, a certification development subject matter expert, the nominating committee member, and he also was involved with the Illinois uh, Eastern Missouri Central Service Organization, where he serves as president since 2017 to present. All right. And then, so some of the questions that go over as to what was asked, it starts off by asking, why do you want to serve as president of HSPA? Now, if you all remember last year, I had the opportunity to go ahead and interview Anthony. All you have to do is go to the YouTube channel, go back and take a look at that interview. He did very well in it. So the answer to his question is we need leadership that will address our association and let's see, and industry issues related to patient care while supporting our membership on a global scale. And yes, remember, this is an international association. We're not just located here in the United States. This takes strong leadership, skills, and compassion and consideration to listen to all points of view and still be able to do what it is best is in the best interest of the whole. I can and will provide that voice. Again, I've talked to him in the past. I do believe that this is true. Next question. How would you support the current mission and vision of HSPA? He states, I will carry on with the strategic plan and the global expansion of the association while continuing to support the current mission and vision by soliciting the involvement of frontline staff members and aggressively seeking their engagement, ideas, and concerns. I like that. One of the things I've heard over the last several years, complaints from the members, is the fact that they felt, especially the younger members, they felt that they were not represented, which is very amusing to me because our current president, Marjorie Wall, currently is the youngest serving president of the association, and she's not a boomer, folks. All right, so we do have the representative, of the younger, but I also leave it to the young crowd to get involved. You can't wait for somebody to ask you to be involved. You need to force yourself into the situation of getting involved. And by the way, I do see the comments. I don't necessarily see who is making the comments, but I see somebody on Facebook stating that thank you for taking the time to do this, and you're very welcome. All right, let me go ahead and continue on with the next question. It's asked, describe the critical issues you think sterile processing profession will face over the possible board tenure. What is HSPA's role in addressing these issues? And he states that HSPA has to continue leading the way into creating and building worth for the association, absolutely, and profession. The association can't do it alone. True. It takes a unified effort from HSPA, sterile processing professionals, vendors, healthcare organizations. We must create and build engagement and value in the association and its memberships for current and prospective members through development and utilizing committees that build involvement, inclusivity, and enthusiasm. Great answer. Great answer. And again, remember that just a reminder, I am doing a review of the candidates. Just to recap, the vote will take place in 10 days. So on the 14th, and the window will only be open for 3 weeks. And you can't complain if you don't like the results if you didn't vote. Now back to the questions. And again, right now I'm covering the candidate for president elect, Anthony Bondon. The next question is describe any unique qualifications such as leadership, life, and business expertise that may set you apart from other candidates and positions you to be an effective leader. So basically, what it is, what's your mojo? Okay, what is it that makes you and sets you apart from other candidates? Well, Anthony states that as a sterile processing manager with 18 years of experience and an ordained minister, pastor, ordained administrative pastor, I have always valued time management and organization. While advocating for my staff and our patients, I believe that my experience and responsibilities serve in the capacity, along with my diverse education, provide me with a unique skill set. These skills allow me to be highly analytical, professional, experienced in providing high touch service to everyone. I emphasize service because too often people feel that such positions and titles mean that they should be served instead of providing the service. Absolutely. That's a lesson to all managers. Our job is to serve our employees, to help them to be better. I like that. Also, aside from that, It has been my journey that has prepared me most for this opportunity. Our success lies in our tenacity and grit, our resolve to never quit or give up, and our dedication to finding a way to push through no matter what. Outstanding. Very good. Very good. Okay, so everything that I just read is the response to the questions from Anthony Bondon. And again, Anthony Bondon is running for president elect. If I'm not mistaken, this is his third time. So I guess third time is a charm. All right. All right. The next candidate on the list for president elect is Arlene Bush. Now, Arlene currently serves as supervisor sterile processing service in Lee County Veterans Clinic at Cape Coral, Florida. Her involvement in the industry has been with HSPA and the industry. She has served on the board of directors since 2021 to 2023. She is the certification development subject matter expert. She has been on the nominating committee member, and if I'm not mistaken, she was actually on the nomination committee when I could be wrong, but when I was the chairman of the nomination committee. HSPA's nominating committee chair in 2020, and Florida's fire chapter board member. So she definitely has experience, especially dealing with the associations. And it goes on. Why do you want to serve as president of HSPA? She goes, with the mission, vision, and values in place for our association, I feel that I can continue to carry the torch to shine and shed light on our ever changing and vastly growing profession. I look forward to representing the association at a national and international level and ensuring our members have a voice with HSPA and industry governing bodies, all for the greater good of our profession. Expressing the importance of sterile processing profession and its role in patient safety must be paramount. Absolutely. Previous HSPA presidents have paved the way to where we find HSPA today. And that's true. As a matter of fact, a lot of changes have taken place, not just the name change in the last couple of years, but there have been many critical changes to our association to actually make it stronger. All right, let's see. Did I miss anything? Oh, nope. Here we go. These are exciting times for our association, which is geared towards the needs of its members, certification holders, and the profession as a whole. Absolutely. All right. How would you support the current mission and vision of HSPA? Arlene states that I would foster an environment where our members or the membership and the association can work together to advance the message about the importance of delivering clean and sterile instruments to every patient every time. The next question, describe the critical issues you think sterile processing professions will face over your possible board tenure. What is HSPA's role in addressing these issues? Required certification is and will always be a hot topic for our industry. The states requiring certification are paving the way for others to follow suit. HSPA has been the leader in the fight for required certification. And she states that honestly, I cannot wait to see which state will be next. That is, I can't wait to see that too. I live, I guess, what you would call on the left coast, the far west coast here in California. And I hate to say it, but I'm very ashamed of California in the fact that we weren't one of the first states to get certification. Usually, California is the one that leads the nation in very important laws. And as a matter of fact, our previous governors have vetoed, I think, three times when our brothers, the surgical techs, tried to get certification required here in the state of California. Three times, Governor Brown had vetoed the legislation and did not allow it to go through. His excuse was it would raise the cost of healthcare. And no, I don't believe that it would. I think that's false. The cost of healthcare is going up no matter what, but it's not because we require certification. All right. Next question. Describe any unique qualifications such as leadership, life, and business expertise that may set you apart from other candidates and position you to be an effective leader. Arlene states that being a self starter with extensive knowledge of sterile processing profession, I go the extra mile to research the standards within the profession and ensure I am fully aware of the changes that may occur within our industry. I also try to be part of the decision making process on how instruments are cleaned and processed to ensure patient safety. Having a seat at the table gives our profession a valid voice for growth and sustainability. Others that come after us need to know the importance of what they do, and our SPDs need to be viewed as the professional departments they are. We are a necessary lifeline for those hospitals and all areas that utilize reusable medical equipment. Now, there you have it. We only have two candidates for president elect. Again, Anthony Bondon as well as Arlene Bush. Now, I met Anthony last year. I interviewed him on CSS Nation when it came time to. I tried to interview other candidates, and I was able to, but I wasn't able to get through all of them. This year, I'm taking a different approach. Instead of interviewing, I'm just reading the bios and letting because I know a lot of times y'all look at the candidates and we're very busy. We don't have time to read the bios. So I'm doing it for you so you don't have to. All you have to do is listen to this podcast. After it's completed, you'll be able to replay it. Before I go on to the next candidates, I just wanted to thank you all first of all for watching this episode. And remember that if you do happen to like my episodes, be sure to click the like and share button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and remember to leave comments. I would really much appreciate it if you would do so. All right. So coming up, we have the board of directors. Now, remember that the board of directors, the position is for 2 years. And it's very important to understand that while the president of the association can set the agenda and try to guide the association with that agenda, it really comes down to the board of directors, who is your individual representatives. They are representing each and every one of you. So it's important to make sure that we select the correct person or persons in order to represent us, because what they decide to vote for and pass is binding on all of us. So they have an extremely important job in making sure that they look at all views and come up with a way to move this association forward. All right. So let's go ahead and let's see. We're going to start off with the first candidate. And the first candidate, his name is Kenneth Campbell. Now, I know that you've all probably seen him. If you've listened and watched Knowledge and Nonsense, I know that they have a podcast that he himself hosts. I recommend that you go out and watch him. He has really interesting individuals coming on that he's interviewing and bringing important information out to us. So, Kenneth Campbell, his current position that he holds, he's the director of sterile processing in Berkshire Medical Center in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. All right, his involvement with HSPA, he is a certification development subject matter expert. Now, that's 3 times, so far, every candidate that I've talked about, they happen to serve on, as a certification development subject matter expert. I believe what that means is that they probably work on the test, all right? And for heaven's sakes, folks, I'm just gonna put it out to you, don't make the test harder. It's hard enough. I mean, if you look at our stats, we only have roughly about 65% of the people passing the first time. All right, so it's very important, and I know because that's actually what I do. I teach the sterile processing course. But enough about me. All right, let's get back into Kenneth here. Question: why do you want to serve on the HSPA board of directors? He goes, I want to be able to contribute knowledge to the organization from within by bringing my 30 plus years of sterile processing experience to the administrative side to help the industry, not just my department. I want to be a catalyst for change for the people who will come after me and remind those here with me that there are always ways we can improve. Very good. And by the way, I've got to note that this is the first candidate that has pretty close to matching my years of experience. I don't know exactly what the plus years is, but I've been in this industry 30 plus, 35 plus years. But so it's good to see that we're having seasoned professionals that are applying. Now, granted, it's has nothing disparaging against individuals, the young crowd, in getting involved. I want you to get involved. We need your blood in the association and help guiding us. All right. So, next question: how would you support the current mission and vision of HSPA? Kenneth states, I would support HSPA's mission and vision by staying true to my professional ethics and personal code of conduct. I will live up to the expectations that come with being an HSPA board member and dedicate my time to empower the sterile processing technicians I mentor, train, and meet to have the same confidence in themselves that I have in them. I would instill the knowledge and courage in the ones who build our foundation so we can grow in numbers and continue to shape this industry. So, the heart of the hospital is not just a moniker, but the credo by which we live. And for those of you that, depending on how long you've been working, if you're fairly new in this field, understand that sterile processing, and it's not a moniker, we are the heart of the hospital. In some cases, I've told people that honestly, we need to be, instead of being part of periop, we either need to be part of our own department, separate from our customers, so that way we're not being influenced by them. I mean, we have to take into consideration what their needs are, but in fact they are not the ones that know best. We're the ones that are educated. If there's any one department that probably we would fit best under, it would probably be infection control, but still I think we should be our own independent department. All right, because we are the heart of the hospital. Remember, folks, other departments cannot do their job until we do our job first. All right, now back to the questions. States, describe a critical issue you think sterile processing profession will face over your possible tenure on the board. What is HSPA's role in addressing these issues? All right. Now, excuse me if you've been watching from the very beginning. Sorry for the fact that I'm keep repeating these questions, but you have to understand what answers these that they are asked, answering to. All right. So again, that how he describes it: staffing shortages, newer innovations, and standard changes are some of the critical issues I see facing us. HSPA should always be at the forefront of providing its members with valuable information as soon as it becomes available. Being transparent and keeping ahead of the changes keeps members invested and demonstrates how we are evolving. What worked for us before will not always be the answer. I think we must be open minded enough to see that HSPA will always be the leader in keeping sterile processing as well as patient safety as the top priority. Now, remember, this is so true. The statement there here, as far as keeping open minded and stuff, and the fact going back, what worked for us in the past. I mean, how many times do we go into the department and you ask somebody, why are you doing it this way? Well, we've always done it that way. And you have to remember that we need to use best practice. All right. So let's go on to the next question. Describe any unique qualifications such as leadership, life, and business expertise that may set you apart from other candidates and position you to be an effective leader. He states that he is an 18-year veteran from the U.S. Army. Oh, an Army guy. I'm Navy. Love watching the Army Navy games. All right, going back. He's a veteran, U.S. Army, a volunteer firefighter, and a successful business owner and podcaster. I bring my knowledge as a traveler and leader to the table so I can speak from all sides. I've worked under pressure, served in wartime, and have been on the front lines in decontamination, working alongside my fellow technicians, even in my director role. I am not far removed from what happens in the department. Very good. All right. Well, that is Kenneth Campbell. The next candidate on the list for director is Denard Esnard. He is the manager of Central Sterile Supply and Surgical Services Inventory at Holy Redeemer Hospital in Meadowbrook, Pennsylvania. I believe that's PA. Yeah. His involvement in HSPA. He is the Mid Atlantic Central Service Association chapter board member. So, not involved so much directly in HSPA, but one of the affiliate chapters of HSPA, which is very important because, let's face it, folks, if you want to be on the board for HSPA, you really should start off on your board in your local area. All right. Baby steps. All right. Question. Why do you want to serve on the HSBA Board of Directors? Denard says, I am honored to have the opportunity to be nominated by my peers for this illustrious position. My passion for this field is second to none. I differ from that. I think my passion is pretty strong for it. But I can tell you, he is very passionate. And I enjoy the challenges and opportunities that sterile processing has afforded me, to which I have devoted over a decade of my life. It is important to me to give back to HSPA because the association has impacted my life in so many positive ways. I want to help uplift the sterile processing community by helping others recognize the compassion and dedication these professionals show daily. Being part of the HSPA board would be a wonderful opportunity to learn from like minded professionals with diverse skill sets. HSPA has served this community through its growth of the profession and its philanthropic endeavors, which have reached many around the country and world. I would like to help further the agenda of this organization. I believe that given the opportunity to be on the board of directors, I would not only be able to provide unique input thanks to my background of missionary work overseas, growing from a technician to a manager, and participation in the national conference, network working with professionals, getting their insights and perspectives on the potential of HSPA. One of my strengths, I believe, is the ability to bring people together, and an opportunity like this will help create cohesiveness in what is already a great group of professionals and an awesome organization. Now, I do know Denard. I've been on his show several times. When I first noticed him, he invited me on, and he has a great podcast, uh, good information, and so if you haven't seen his podcast, search him out. He's out there. All right. Next question: how would you support the current mission and vision of HSPA? He states, I intend to support and uphold the values of HSPA, helping to drive initiatives that promote education and the advancement of the sterile processing profession. I plan to work closely with the board and relay my accumulated feedback through the years. I hope this insight may shine an introspective light on decision making with a different understanding of the. Oh, this is a new word. Oh, Denard, you're tripping me out here. Diaspora? Okay, folks. All right. Pausing the show right now because I have to look up that word. That's the nice thing about us in sterile processing. We're constantly learning, even after all of these years. This field has showed us that we are always learning. Diaspora, I think. Meaning, okay. Okay, so and I don't know if I'm pronouncing around the word right again, but again, it says with a different understanding of the diaspora. Now, it states here that this is people who have spread or been dispersed from their homeland. Uh, this, an example, the dispersion of the Jewish people beyond Israel and stuff. So, all right. So, in other words, a situation in which uh, they had to leave their homes and such. So, good work. You know what? Love the fact that I'm learning. All right, continue. I would make myself available to accomplish the task bestowed upon the board. I will help promote the current mission and vision of HSPA. I will support our regional chapters in any capacity needed. I will be happy to participate in any initiatives HSPA has developed in developing this industry. Very good. Next question. Describe the critical issues you think sterile processing profession will face over your possible board tenure. And what is HSPA's role in addressing these issues? He states that the critical issues I think that sterile processing profession will face over my possible board tenure are certification and recognition. Certification in the aspect of it being available and accessible to not only the US demographics, but around the world. With the continued growth of HSPA and far reaching aspects of this field, HSPA may be able to adapt some aspects of education for the development of non English speaking professionals. You know what? I have to agree with him on this one. Couple of issues. A couple of years ago, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, I remember one of the members was attending the conference. They came from, I believe, like the Virgin Islands, and one of the complaints and I don't know if it was corrected or not, was the fact that in order for them to be able to take the exam for certification, they had to come to the United States, which meant that not only were they paying for the test, they had to pay for a flight, they had to pay for hotel for this. So, which was a critical issue for them in, cost wise. Most of us, we just have to pay for the certification exam and we pay for gas to get where we need to go. All right. So, absolutely, it is very critical that we allow people who are wanting to be certified to have the opportunity to be able to take the exam to get certified. Now, as far as the non-English speaking professionals, you know what? There is technology out there that currently, as far as I know, even in outside of the United States, it is required that all candidates or individuals, not candidates, but individuals who are wanting to take the certification exam must do so in English. It is not translated into any other language. Now, several years ago, I don't know if it was the sixth edition or the seventh edition of the CRCST manual. It was in Spanish, but the subsequent editions never came out in Spanish again. But Spanish is not the only other language in the world, as we know. So, you know what? It doesn't take all that much technology at the testing sites to be able to have these questions automatically translated in the native language of the individuals wanting to take the exam. So, Denard, excellent answer on this one. Let me go ahead and continue though. He continues to state that the recognition of sterile processing professionals and their dedication to the field would give some needed encouragement to those with limited opportunities for advancement. There also lies an opportunity for HSPA to create a program that recognizes those who have fallen through the cracks, but who have made the efforts to acquire the knowledge to become better professionals and help others in the field. Very good. And the last question, describe any unique qualifications such as leadership, life, and business expertise that may set you apart from other candidates and positions you to be an effective leader. Denard states that the dedication of my career to staying abreast of the latest developments in sterile processing has helped me help others. I have made it my duty to impart that knowledge on everyone I meet. As a content creator, developing my ability to network and develop meaningful relationships within the industry, I believe that I possess the ability to bring professionals together. As a manager who moved up through the ranks, I understand all levels of problem solving pertaining to this field and the adversity that we face on a daily basis. Giving back to others is one of my major focuses. Being able to participate in two medical missions to the island of Jamaica, providing much needed medical support in the form of donations and gynecological procedures, helping women find relief from the ailments that they suffer from, has been fulfilling to me. And I will continue to do as much as I can to locally, what he can do to locally and to overseas. Growing up in the islands of St. Lucia, where resources were not plentiful, helped teach me how to live in tough times, to always be thankful for what you have. With these humble beginnings, I learned the lesson of working hard for what you want in life and the culture, and that culture matters. Absolutely. My journey has been unconventionally different and has contributed to a unique perspective that I will bring to the board. Very good. Okay, so that is Denard Esnard running for board of director. The next candidate on the list is Damon Miles, who is the educator of sterile processing department at Stanford Medical Children's Hospital in Palo Alto, California. All right. His involvement with HSPA is that he is a current Pacific West Sterile Processing Association board member. Now, that's a new name for those of you that aren't aware of it. The California Central Service Association decided to go through a name change. They're now called the Pacific West Sterile Processing Association. They don't just cover California, they cover Nevada, Hawaii, and any other state that does not have a certification board, not a certification board, excuse me, does not have a local chapter in their state. So they avail themselves to education for those individuals who need the continuing education. And I can tell you that it is a great association. I myself served on the California Central Services Association, now called Pacific West Sterile Processing Association for many years, and was the past president of the association. So I was not aware that Damon is on the board. It's good to know, though. He's in good company. All right. So the first question: why do you want to serve on the board of HSPA as a director? I would strive to make a positive impact in the healthcare community through HSPA as a servant leader, thinker, and educator. Next, how would you support the current mission and vision of HSPA? Uh, as a professional development specialist with a passion for process improvement, I would use this opportunity with HSPA to elevate education. I would accomplish this through collaboration with other industry partners in order to expand our reach in the perioperative community and elevate the standards of care for the patients we serve. Good to know. Describe a critical issue you think the sterile processing profession will face over the possible board tenure, and what is HSPA's role in addressing these issues? He states that our dynamic industry is always evolving. In the coming years, there will continue to be advancement in the complexity of medical instruments, increased technical responsibility of reprocessing personnel, and updated to stringent industry standards. As the leading certification organization, HSPA will use its platform to raise the knowledge base of its members through clear and prompt notifications and the development of continuing education. Outstanding. Sorry, folks, when you do all this much talking, my goodness, I've been talking for 42 minutes over already. Got to wet the whistle there. All right. The last question: describe any unique qualifications such as leadership, life, and business expertise that may set you apart from other candidates and position you to be an effective leader. Over the past year, I have created educational content on local and large scales as a Beyond Clean conference and podcast guest, participated in videos for the Process Media Group, and joined the board of directors of the Pacific West Sterile Processing Association, CCSA formerly. In addition, I've helped plan local educational conferences and advise local sterile processing college programs on curriculum and keys to technician success. As a leader at the top 10 Children's Hospital, I have made positive changes to our program by developing new departmental competencies, procedures, and policies, and initiating numerous process improvements. I stand for ethics and doing what is right for the patient care, even if nobody is looking. I received a Stanford Medicine Rose Award for stand out service, as well as the Dahlia Award for spearheading a process improvement project to reduce delayed reprocessing of flexible endoscopes. Also, how he states that how did I get to this point? For a very short time, I was a walk-on quarterback for my university's football team. My sports journey didn't last long, but to this day, I continue to bring the mindset of a walk-on quarterback to my professional career. I strive to remain coachable, to learn from mistakes, be a leader amongst my peers, and outwork my competition through perfect practice. My work history has provided experience in pre-surgery, surgery, and post-surgery arenas, as well as the vendor side of healthcare. My peers describe me as a well-rounded, sharp professional and personable. All right, so that again is Damon Miles running for board of director. Next, we have coming up here is Jessica Train. She serves as the Chief Sterile Processing Service And so just know, instead of saying director or manager and stuff like that, she works for the Portland Veterans Administration Hospital. And so instead of saying director or something like that, they called them chiefs. All right. So very important role within the Veterans Administration. She is in Portland, Oregon. Her involvement has been the Cascade Chamber of HSPA Secretary from 2016 to 2018, Advocacy Committee from 2021 to current, Cascade Chapter of HSPA Board Member in 2022, and the Cascade Chamber of HSPA Secretary 2023 and current. So she was the secretary 2016 to 18, took some time off from that role, and then started up again in 2023. Why do you want to serve? And I'm, by the way, I'm not going to stop saying HSPA. We all know what this is. I'm just going to say the association, makes it faster. Why do you want to serve on the association board of directors? To promote the sterile processing as a thriving profession. For many years, the field of sterile processing has not been as well known as other healthcare professions, or even that sterile processing existed. I challenge myself and every other sterile processing professional to seize any opportunity to educate people about our profession. I see this as an incredible opportunity to further our profession and facilitate growth throughout the association. In addition, I would like to take this opportunity to learn more about our industry to find ways to help other leaders and my colleagues in this field. Next question. How would you support the current mission and vision of our association? I would support our association's mission and vision through commitment and communication, education, and professionalism. In addition, I would support the association's advocacy initiatives and pursuit of excellence. Communication is an invaluable strength that is needed in the field of sterile processing. It is imperative to effectively relay changes and the essential information to staff to keep them informed. As a leader, one of the most important qualities is not just communicating, but communicating effectively. Communication is one of my strengths, and I intend to use this skill to enhance the current state of the board and help improve any on any way possible. Education is another extremely important focus in sterile processing. As a changing and evolving profession, our processes, recommendations, and standards are also changing and evolving and must be in lockstep. As a leader in the field, it is my duty to stay current on trends and issues in the profession, as well as educating staff on these and other issues. Professional development is key to this role, and content, including educational articles and blogs that benefit all our members at every level. Excuse me. It saddens me to observe the decline of professionalism in our field of sterile processing. We can impact this by representing our organization as sterile processing professionals in all aspects of our lives, not only at work, but also socially and at home. Our membership needs to be aware or reminded that this is a profession and we need to promote it and make people aware of our essential role in healthcare. Leadership involves mentoring, and I have had some great mentors in my career. I hope to be able to give back to our membership by sharing thoughts and experiences that have helped me personally and professionally. I'm a huge proponent of advocacy in and for sterile processing profession. And as such, my desire would be to continue my role as the Association Advocacy Committee or on the Association Advocacy Committee, as I feel it is important to make our profession known and help move us along to required certification. In conclusion, I would work to fulfill the association's quest for excellence. In my years as a sterile processing professional, I have had the opportunity to participate on numerous teams in varying different capacities. Teamwork is an important element to achieving excellence as well as all the other mission points above. I would like to incorporate all these themes while working alongside the other HSPA board members. Great answer. And you know what? She is absolutely correct. As far as professionalism in our field, professionalism goes in many aspects. So when you go to work and you are not thinking about the patient and the outcome of the type of work you do, then that is one aspect of why you're not necessarily a professional. And so it's one of the reasons why I started teaching the course was to try to change the culture one student at a time in order to because I saw a decline in how technicians viewed their work, and it's very important to make sure that we set our association, our sterile processing field in the right direction. All right. Next question. Describe the critical issue you think sterile processing profession will face over the possible board tenure. What is the association's role in addressing these issues? The major issues plaguing sterile processing as of late is staffing. Absolutely. In my opinion, the decrease in the number of staffing is occurring for a wide variety of reasons, including staff turnover, retirement, lack of compensation, and contract staff have all weakened the availability of qualified sterile processing technicians. HSPA, through its advocacy and education, can help provide resources and guidance for procuring staff, promoting our field of expertise, and sharing survey data that could be helpful for healthcare facilities to attract and retain qualified staff. Amen to that. She's absolutely right. The turnover. I mean, now I know that we're going to have a large amount of individuals retiring over the next 5 to 10 years. You know, all of us baby boomers are going to be leaving the field, which is going to leave an either even wider void than there currently is right now. Now, one of the issues is the fact that why we have the turnover, why individuals are leaving the hospital. What they're doing is they're going to become contract staff. They're becoming travelers, and the reason being is so that they can get paid more. I don't blame them for it, but it's really a predicament that the hospitals have created, and it needs to be fixed. All right, next question. Describe any unique qualifications such as leadership, life and business expertise that may set you apart from other candidates and position you to be an effective leader. So she states that throughout many years of healthcare, excuse me, I have been given the opportunity to work in various healthcare roles. I have worked specifically in clinical settings, outpatient surgery centers, and endoscopy, as well as operating rooms as a surgical technologist. I have also worked as a consultant and had the opportunity to help others in the field by providing audits and education for staff on areas where improvement was needed. As the chief of SPS in a level one VA medical center, I have made it a point to promote our department and the importance of what we do. The various roles I have held afforded me the opportunity to come up with out of the box solutions for issues within my facility, as well as helping others throughout the sterile processing profession, whether that be when networking at HSPA national events or with our local chapters or any opportunity that may arise. Very good. Okay, so again, that is Jessica Train from Portland, Oregon. Next, for the candidate for director, Sarah Vinson. I met Sarah. I believe it was actually we've been connected on LinkedIn, but we actually got to meet each other last year at the association annual conference. It was a pleasure meeting her. She currently serves as the sterile processing director for UF Health Shands in Gainesville, Florida. Her involvement with HSPA, she is Illinois and Eastern Missouri Central Service Association vice president in 2019 and the president-elect of 2020. So, and I believe that meant that in 2021 she was president, and we need to make sure. So she's already had experience serving on the board and being the vice president and president. Question: why do you want to serve on the association board of directors? By serving on the board of directors, I can be a voice for my team and ensure I am advocating for them. Our frontline technicians are the most important and valuable contributors to our organization. I hope to inspire them and gain more knowledge and perspective so I can be the leader they need and deserve. Serving on the board of directors would truly be an honor and allow me to promote continuous education with a much wider reach. There is so much to learn in our industry, and being able to work with fellow sterile processing professionals with equal drive and passion would be extremely rewarding. Next question: how would you support the current mission and vision of our association? The mission and vision of our association is to promote continuous education and provide professional development, and more importantly, to bring awareness to the profession as a whole. My advocating for sterile processing profession can be seen through my commitment to my team members and my active contribution across various social media platforms. I'm committed to supporting education through my participation as a learner during local and national events and volunteering to present on topics I am passionate about. The association mission is accomplished through collaborative relationships. I have been fortunate enough over the past 2 decades to meet and connect with various like minded individuals who are equally passionate about sterile processing. I believe my work experience and current professional networks make me uniquely qualified to further the association's relationship with allied partners and associates by bringing awareness to the profession and supporting continuous education, patient experiences, and outcomes improve. Very good. All right, let me adjust my chair here. Okay. Next question. Describe the critical issue you think sterile processing professional will face over your possible tenure, and what is the role in addressing these issues? Employee burnout and turnover continues to be a challenge most departments face. The association plays a role in addressing this issue through its advocacy initiatives for public policy changes and by providing professional development opportunities. Policy changes help raise the level of expertise and overall awareness of the profession on a state and national level. Professional development opportunities to the association may be the only resource available to some members. By encouraging members to learn more and work on their personal development, the association will help advance the future leaders of our profession. Understanding and implementing best practice guidelines such as ANSI AMI ST 91 will be a challenge for some organizations because some of the challenges require large capital investments and increased operational spending. HSPA plays a role in addressing this issue by providing education about the changes and how it promotes patient safety. This may be only required working with collaborative allied partners on educational material and support. Then we have the question, describe any unique qualifications such as leadership, life, and business expertise that may set you apart from other candidates and position you to be an effective leader. Sarah states that my various roles held within sterile processing department make me uniquely qualified to serve on the board of directors. I have firsthand leadership experience and gained perspective on what the challenges and needs are at every staffing level. I've also had the opportunity to work in various healthcare settings, academic and community-based hospitals. HSPA members are very diverse and require the support of the board members who can relate to and understand them. So that is Sarah and Vincent for board of directors. And just a reminder once again, so what I'm doing is I'm going over all the candidates. I've already previously discussed about the president-elect, and currently going through all the candidates for the board of directors. And so the next person is Sean Weir. He is the system educator for UPMC, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. His association involvement, Western Pennsylvania president from 2016 to present. He served on the nominating committee for the association, the HSPA nominating committee from 2020 to 2021. First question, why do you want to serve on the board of directors? He states that I was previously nominated for HSPA board of directors and had kindly declined in each situation. At the time, I didn't feel like I was ready for the role and wasn't confident that I could do it justice. However, I would like to discuss the beginning of my sterile processing journey, which led me to this place. In 2009, I held a job as a video editor using my hard earned college degree. Abruptly, my position was eliminated, and I found myself looking for what was next. On a whim, I found a job listing for sterile processing technician at one of our UPMC hospitals. To be honest, I didn't know anything about the field, but I knew I needed a job to provide my family with an income and benefits. I jumped into a completely different field with no prior knowledge of the profession or what I would need to do on a daily basis. I spent a couple of years, I spent a couple years at this position before transferring to a new hospital, a children's hospital. It was here with the patient population that I began to understand the importance of all that sterile processing encompasses. I was promoted to a lead position, then, then to a supervisor role, and then to a manager position. I truly felt, oh no, he truly fell in love with this profession. I obtained my certifications and made connections across the field, state, and country to ensure I was up to date with new processes and new equipment. In 2021, I had the opportunity to become an educator for our largest hospital in the UPMC system, where I trained and educated new hires about sterile processing. I knew there needed to be a greater focus on the training and onboarding process for new hires in this field. I needed to be the change and was given the opportunity to do so. In 2022, I started my own teaching program through UPMC to educate, train, and prepare all sterile processing employees to sit for their required certification exam. Over the year, I created a slogan, saving lives one tray at a time. I like it. Unlike many other medical fields, sterile processing tends to fly under the radar, with few people familiar with the field and what it entails. I view this as a personal mission to advocate for the field and the importance of our work. I feel that being a association board of directors will help me achieve this mission. All right. With the next question, how would you support the current mission of HSPA? The mission statement is easy to understand and support. I live this daily, educating new hires and ensuring that 30 plus locations are compliant on standard operating procedures, the SOPs. In addition, I ensure that the SOPs are current and with the latest standards. Next question. Describe the critical issues you think sterile processing profession will face over the possible board tenure, and what is the association's role in addressing these issues? The biggest issue is the lack of public. Sorry about that, folks. The biggest issue is the lack of publicity. In other words, it's not getting any attention for our profession. The healthcare industry is always there when someone needs it. We never close our doors and we never turn patients away. Shining a light on sterile processing and the critical role it plays in healthcare is essential. With the massive job openings across our profession, I'm hoping we can create a positive and creative approach to supporting our profession and being in the news for the right reasons. Describe any unique qualifications such as leadership, life, and business expertise that may set you apart from other candidates and position you to be an effective leader. Sean states that I've worked in every role in sterile processing profession, from technician to manager, and now as an educator, and across all types of hospitals, pediatric, trauma, and surgical. I have spent the past 7 years training new hires on proper procedure and technique. In my current role, I am the system educator of our 30 plus hospitals. I have created an in depth, on the job training program that allows new hires to learn the didactic portion of sterile processing while preparing their learning with hands on training on the materials that they are learning in the didactic course. This program helps them study and get through the CRCST manual for certification. Within 8 to 12 weeks, they complete the course with the necessary knowledge to pass their association exam. And this begins within 3 to 4 months of their start date. This ensures that employees have the skills and the knowledge needed to meet the 18-month certification requirement set forth by Pennsylvania, while positioning them to advance in our service line career ladder. I also work closely with vendors for education and learning opportunities to ensure staff are provided with ongoing education and information about technological advancements in the profession. Additionally, I serve on advisory board for Beyond Clean and Key Surgical and actively participate in several AMI work groups. All right, so that is Sean Weir. Now, Sean is very vocal and groups like on in LinkedIn. I've read several of his posts. He's very insightful. So, if you haven't had an opportunity to read through these bios, please do so. Again, your candidates in reverse order for the board of directors: Sean Weir. We also have Sarah Vinson. Then we have Jessica Train, Damon Miles. Let's see here. We have Denard Esnard. And lastly, we have Kenneth Campbell. For the president elect, we have Arlene Bush and we have Anthony Bonden. So I read the names in reverse order as they were listed on the website. It's again, I suggest that you check them out, and note that on the 14th or 15th, as I do always, I will be voting, and I encourage you to vote. Again, if you don't vote, you have no reason or right to complain. I will be doing my voting live. Again, as I always state, I do not want to influence your vote. I am just showing you. It helps you to go through the process of learning what you have to click in order to go ahead and vote. and because it's very important. All right, it is your civic duty within HSPA. So that'll be done live. But before I even do that, I encourage you in the next couple of weeks, in the next 10 days, to go through the website, read these bios, get to know these individuals, and come back between March 14th, and I believe it's April 4th. The window is going to only be open for 3 weeks. So it's very important that you have your voice heard. Now, remember, as a reminder, if you like my show, be sure to like and share, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and leave comments. I would really appreciate it. With that, I just want to say thank you very much. I wish each and every candidate luck. And although not all of them will be voted in, again, I just wish them luck and the very best. And it's just, let's face it, it's very important that we be involved in our association. All right. And with that, I'm just going to go ahead and end it. It has been over an hour now that I've been talking, and I know that you're probably bored. So with that, I am going to go ahead and say goodbye until next time in approximately 10 days when you see me vote. And with that, uh, stay diligent in your work. Take care.